Good afternoon, everyone. My question is solely on the influence that the Western has. You've also talked about it on your speech, where you talked about the Western or the Americans having influence on Ukraine. But then, how would you respond to the recent reports that the Western rather are influencing the SADC community, like the Southern African Development Community, not to trade with Russia? So what would be your response on that?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. In July in July last year, I had another tour in Africa, starting with Arab League, Egypt and Arab League. And it was well known and discussed publicly that before my visit, the Western representatives came to the Arab League headquarters and tried to dissuade them from meeting with me, which I think is absolutely unprecedented in diplomatic practice. And if you are in favor of democratic principles, let everybody to decide. African countries, including Arab countries, they are grown-ups. They are not school children. And to teach them good manners in accordance with the Western standards and Western values, I believe is unacceptable. And I'm not amazed that wherever I go, our Western colleagues are trying to do some prevention and to impress upon my hosts some behavior which the Americans would like. And we very much appreciate and respect the position of all our partners who, in situations like this, are guided not by the orders from former colonial powers and from those who would like to dominate the world now, but are guided by the legitimate national interests. And most of them do not shy away from saying so publicly. I believe if you are a pioneer of democracy, respect democracy in international relations as well. We quoted today the United Nations Charter, which says the UN is based on sovereign equality of states. Respect this sovereign equality. Let the people decide whether they want to condemn somebody, whether they want to support somebody, whether they want to take a neutral position. It's their sovereign right. And to demand obedience is, my president said, that what we see today is another manifestation of colonialism in new historical conditions. So this is life, unfortunately. We cannot change our Western friends and make them polite and behaving democratic way overnight. They are agitated because the dominance which they enjoyed in the world for at least 5 centuries is fading away. Multipolar world is emerging. Powers like China, India, Turkey, Egypt, Africa as a huge, rich continent, and many people say that this is the future of the world. Latin America, of course, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico. Those powerhouses of their respective regions, and to a large extent for the world economy, as China and India are, you cannot ignore them. And you cannot dictate to them that they should develop a way which will continue to enrich the West. This is what colonialism is about. And I understand the painful feelings of US and Europe, because the structure of the international relations is changing, becoming multipolar, polycentric. It would not happen overnight. It will be a rather extended historical epoch. But we are moving in that direction. It's an objective movement. And things like those which you quoted are only one example of the attempts to stop the objective course of history. Again, we accept this as a given. The Western countries would be trying to keep their dominance as much as they can. Hopefully they would understand that the means they choose to keep the dominance cannot be without limits. Not very optimistic, I understand.